Welcome back to Virtual Tombstone. A little bit different setting tonight. We're downtown Tombstone under the street lights. And we're going to go over to a plaque over there a little bit and let you in on some history that happened right within about 500 feet of me here. And but before that, let's jump into some music with the band Wanted. See if I can. All right, let's see. You can sing along with us.
When I was a little bitty baby, my mama would rock me in the cradle in them old cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. When them cotton balls get rotten, you can't pick very much cotton in them old cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. When I was a little bitty baby, my mama would rock me in the cradle in them old cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. When them cotton balls get rotten, you can't pick very much cotton in them old cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. My mama would rock me in the cradle in them old cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. In them old cotton fields back home.
Yeah. All right, and just down the street, a little ways here, we met the Silver King Minstrels from Tombstone. Let's hear a song from them now.
It was in the spring, one Sunday, a good gal most went away. I she's gone and I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. She called me up from Granny Lopez, so she come back, Daddy, you know I need you so. She's gone and I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, and I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world.
Scott French is back again this week. You may remember him from 2 weeks ago, and he's going to read again from the cowboy poet Baxter Black. Here's Scott.
Okay, a little humor before I read from Baxter Black, but his is kind of humorous too. 2 years ago, we had Johnny Cash, Bob Hope, and Steve Jobs. Now we have no Cash, Hope, or Jobs. Please don't let Kevin Bacon die. Now I will read from Baxter. Could be worse. The banker took his ledger out. The rancher took a seat. Let's see, I lent you $20,000 for cattle, corn, and wheat. Let's talk about your cattle first. The rancher's face looked pained. You know how bad the market has been? Lost 15, he explained. 15 what? 15 cents a pound? 15 died of thirst? Nope, $15,000 lost. But hey, it could be worse. The banker swallowed hard, then asked, well, what about your grain? The hoppers ate up all my wheat. The sweet corn needed rain. The pigs got sick, my son got drunk, and joined the Moonies church. I figure I'm down to 40 thou, but hey, it could be worse. What do you mean it could be worse? That ain't even funny. The rancher shrugged and then replied, could have been my money. Thank you, Baxter.
Current events here in Tombstone. You may be able to hear the bands playing behind me. The meeting we talked about last week was successful, and they decided to open. And yesterday was the first day that Tombstone was fully open. And so a lot more people on the boardwalks tonight than there have been in about a month. And some of the shows are reporting reasonable turnouts for a Friday and a Saturday. So things appear to be opening up here in Tombstone. That's the current news. For this week's History of Tombstone section, we're filming at night because this story happened at night. We're right across from the M. Kalisher General Store. It was built in 1879, so only 2 years after Ed Schifflin first started his claim here and started his tombstone. So we're going to read this plaque verbatim because it's such an interesting story and it shows how the town was shifting rapidly. The M. Kalisher General Store, 1879. M. Kalisher was a California company that opened a store in Tombstone in 1879. They sold general merchandise as well as lumber. 18-year-old David Kalisher managed the store. He was a member of a grand jury that indicted William Claiborne for a shooting, but was criticized for failure to indict the Earps and Doc Holliday after the gunfight. David incurred the ire of the community when a fire broke out in his store on a night when it had been announced the water would be shut off. Policemen discovered the fire shortly after it began, and the firemen contained it quickly, but paper doused with kerosene was found in the building. Without their quick work, the tightly packed businesses could have been destroyed. Hostility ran high towards David, and he was charged with arson. In spite of the circumstantial evidence, David was acquitted of arson, but he left Tombstone shortly thereafter. E.T. Hardy and Company moved into the location. There have been many tenants over the years, but this historic location remains. I like this story because it shows how in just 2 years since the original claim was filed here, the town and the silver and gold that created this rush had changed rapidly. And we're going to learn a lot more about gunfights and the large number and wild people that were attracted to this town in the ensuing years, very, very rapidly. And that threat of fire has held over Tombstone its entire life. As it's in the high desert, it's very, very, very hot and dry here. And that's all for Tombstone, for the history of Tombstone for this week, and for Virtual Tombstone. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week at the same time.